biggest mistake or oversight that people are making when they look at your category of how to improve the power density?
I think it's not realizing the pace of change and speaking in different contexts. I think this world is changing so quickly. A couple of years ago, server X in data centers were consuming, 10 or 20 kilowatts. And now we're talking about several hundred kilowatts. A year or 2 years from now, we're going to be at 600, 800 kilowatts. And then we're going to move right on to megawatt. And I think one of the challenges we've seen, and one of the mistakes that we've seen folks make, is not being clear on what context they're talking about, right? There are challenges that folks need to be solving today based on the server racks that they're deploying today at less than 100 kilowatts. There's other folks that are deeply focused on, how do I design that project that I'm going to go deploy in 18 to 24 months that's using a much higher power server rack, and therefore it needs to make different architectural decisions related to how we would move power around those facilities. And then there are still others that are entirely ensconced in the world of, we need to figure out how do we move power around when we've got 2 or 4 megawatt server racks. And if you're not really careful to talk about what's the time scale that we're talking about, what's the context in which we're talking, there's a mistake you can get into of where folks start to talk past each other. Right? The solutions that we're going to be providing to enable 25 megawatt pods, 4 megawatt server racks are necessarily different and overkill in a world of the data centers that you're deploying right now today in 2025 and into early 2026. And so, every once in a while we'll run into a case where we're describing something about our product roadmap or what we think is possible, and we'll see folks that are a bit deer in the headlights of, I don't understand why that would be needed or how that would be used. And more often than not, it's because that we're thinking about different time contexts, or we're thinking about different deployment context as well. Of course, there's also a huge diversity of different types of data centers that are used for different purposes, and some of them really want to go after the very highest performance and the highest density. That's where we shine the best. There's others that are doing more conventional non-AI applications where the business case for a superconducting solution may not be there today.
So it's really interesting that a lot of the alignment isn't just understanding their context of where they are in the ecosystem, but understanding the time horizon that they're planning for.
Precisely right.
Got it.